All right, I think we're good to go.
All right. Well, welcome everybody. Um, First board meeting of the new year. So
Woohoo!
hopefully everybody's recharged for another year of these. Um,
Oh yeah.
oh yeah. um, I think today's board meeting is fairly straightforward in the sense that we'll do our regular operational updates by Holly, and then we'll have the marketing committee status update and some changes there. And then I don't know who's going to give the CTO search update. Normally that would be Jeff, but I don't know if somebody can fill in for Jeff there.
I think he's planning to join us for the executive session to do the CTO update.
All right, so we're moving that to the executive session. Uh,
Okay.
and then in the executive session, we're going to talk a little about the Drupalcon locations for the future. We have a list of them that we can look at. There will be an update from the finance committee where we are presenting financials for approval. They're all in the board packet as well. And then I guess we'll talk about the CTO updates. And we'll sync up on the retreat, which is happening in 2 weeks, or less than 2 weeks. So that's the plan. If there's any other agenda items, please speak up. If not, I'll give the floor to Holly.
Okay.
All right, Holly, it's all yours.
Thanks. First off,
This is Tiffany. I'm here now.
oh, good. Phew. First off, I'm just going to apologize and just say that Lima is the noisiest place I've ever been in my life. So apologize for any car noises and whatnot. So welcome to the new year. I think that the biggest thing to talk about right now is that we're really excited that we have a plan for this year that includes some real metrics to look after to help us understand whether we're achieving those goals or not. That's been really energizing for the staff. It's been a great way to sort of to focus our thoughts in our direction. So the board packet obviously looks a lot different this time out. You'll notice that there are a lot of changes in terms of the metrics that are presented, et cetera. And one thing that I want to stress about that is that our plan will be to present to you metrics through the previous month going forward. So in the February meeting, you'll get metrics as of January 31st, and we'll standardize all the metrics to report on that kind of format. So all the metrics will be through January 31st, and we'll always know what that end cutoff date is. So they'll be a couple weeks old by the time we get to them, but we'll standardize on that. And that, of course, means that for this report, there are a lot of things that we are tracking that are brand new. And so we don't have any data for a lot of things in this report, the January report, but you'll see them start to roll into the future. So any questions about that before we get down into it? Okay. So right now, I think our overall our biggest challenge, remains around Drupal.org and getting ourselves set up to better meet the needs of Drupal.org. And I think we've continued to make progress, but it's slow because we don't have a ton of staff or resources, and we're really looking to accelerate that in the new year. And so we're hiring as fast as we can to be able to address some of the pain points that are out there. And our strategy for Drupal.org this year is to do two things. One is to improve the ability for volunteers to serve themselves. On Drupal.org, so to be able to get real dev sites set up and make it easier to commit patches and get feedback from the association along the way. So empowering volunteers is the first big strategy there. And then the second part is, of course, adding more capacity ourselves so that we can create more stable systems and repeatable ways of doing things so that we can get more work done more efficiently ourselves as well. So to that end, we're really excited that Rudy just started on Monday and is already hard at work setting up a new VM server. That'll be the backbone of those new sort of standardized dev environments for folks. And at the same time, we've been working on creating a public repo of Blue Cheese, which is the other piece that needs to happen there. So, we're looking at being able to make those sort of very basic first steps to empower volunteers available as quickly as we can. And that's our focus right now on Drupal.org. So that's where a lot of our attention is on the team side. And then, of course, building that tech team out is the other place that we've spent a lot of attention December leading into January as well. So we are currently looking at hiring a CTO still, as you know, as well as a Drupal developer to join the team. So those hires are in process. I feel really good that we're going to have a developer offer letter out and signed next week, which is going to be great. All of our candidates have had great Drupal experience and lots of Drupal.org experience as well. So we're pretty excited about the folks that we've been able to chat with. And then the next hire up for us will be a customer support person to work in the issue queues and handle some of the more routine issue queue tasks like I forgot my password, how do I reset it? That sort of thing, which should free up some time for Tatiana to be able to focus on issue queues more in depth, because we have a real responsiveness problem in the issue queues. So those are going to be the next hires upcoming. After that, we had on board an architecture and security person in a single role, and then another a QA role. That's another part of the empowering volunteers, and also for us internally that we really need to get situated. So those would be the next hires. And we're working on the hiring plan for those. So those are the sort of the biggest focus areas for the organization right now, and where we're at. Any questions about that? Okay. So just to orient you to the new statistics that we'll be reporting on, our new KPI section is focused around sort of our three overarching goals: being a well-run organization, being a heart of the Drupal community, and growing Drupal adoption. So under well-run org, we'll be focusing on revenue and employee satisfaction scores, and we have some numbers for you there as of the end of December, which are great to report. Net income in particular, I just want to stress that those numbers are not audited and not final, and we can't say that those are exactly what they will be, but it is definitely due to both really, really strong cons, some strong advertising performance, some great cost-saving measures around some of the cons, although we understand more coffee in Prague, don't save money with coffee. And I've learned, lesson learned. I know. And the fact that we delayed some of the hiring this year. We ended up in a great cash position, which we weren't expecting going into the year. So that's really great. I'm excited for that. Although I will also say that it's nice to turn out a better cash position than you expect, but in the future, what we're really working towards is more stability, so that when we put a budget out there, we're managing to that budget, as opposed to showing really big wins. That's a level of organizational maturity we're striving for. We probably are a couple years away from that as we keep developing new revenue lines, and those are tough to predict out of the bat, right? So. But those KPIs look great. Heart of the community, we are measuring their program participation, some website traffic, membership numbers. And obviously it's the first month, so this is a partial month reporting here for the membership numbers, but they are where they should be for this moment in time. And when we get to future months, I will definitely be using that green, orange, red coding again. We're still working on a public-facing dashboard version of this that would live in a Google spreadsheet. And that will calculate for us where we need to be each month, and I'll be able to better report that going forward. But those are all looking strong, and I'm really excited that we continue
Holly,
to
just a
add.
quick question. So
Oh
these,
yeah, go ahead, Angie.
I'm sorry. These goals, they're for end of year. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So when we say stuff like $3,000 and it says 494, then we shouldn't keep going because we have like 11 months to figure that out.
That's right. We're still building the calculator that it will say 494 is the total goal. Here's the year to date goal. Here's where we are year to date.
Okay, yeah, because that would help a lot
Yeah.
if we had like a or even a red, yellow, green thing, so we know. Oh, okay, we don't need to worry about that or whatever. Like that would be. Thanks.
Yep. Yeah, the red, yellow, green will come back. Like I said, we're still working on calculating what it means to be what the number should be at each point in time. So this
Yep.
time through, I thought I would just be making it. It would be very arbitrary if I put green on it. So I thought I won't lie to you. I'll just leave them blank. Making sense? Okay. Yeah, and the one thing that I'm really excited about in particular in that realm is that we continue to add camps to our fiscal sponsorship program, which I really love, and that's one of our favorite things. So that continues to grow. We're really happy about that. So, and then growing Drupal adoption, I'm just really thrilled to start to see more D.O statistics out in the mix for us to be talking about over and over again. So these again are the top level statistics that we'll report on each time. So number of Drupal sites, Drupal as a percentage of the web, contributors, D.O traffic, etc. Again, a lot of these. Sorry for the truck. A lot of these are blank right now, and we're going to be reporting them as of the month prior. So in the February packet, you'll start to see more of these numbers light up. Questions about that?
Like a Christmas tree.
Like a Christmas tree. That's right. Awesome. Good. So those are our main KPIs. Not a lot of news there to share yet because we still don't know where we are in most of those things. 2 weeks into the new year. DrupalCons, I think there's not a ton of stuff to report there except to just celebrate that the Austin site is live and registrations are open and they are actually coming in and people are submitting sessions. So that's all going the way that we want it to go, which is great. And you'll note that the top level DrupalCon stats this year for the board will include some of those key audiences that we want to target, measuring what percentage of our con attendance comes from those key audiences, in addition to the revenue, which we have always reported on, as well as a net promoter score. So do people like this product? And my favorite stat in this is going to be the code sprint contributions. I can't wait to measure what cons give back to the project in general. So
Push it to the core, Holly.
I know. I still need to make my T-shirt. So Austin's up and running, which is great. The sponsorship packages are very close to selling out, which is fantastic. And we're really excited about that. Amsterdam is also definitely moving along. The bit of news to discuss in the Drupal cons is that we are looking into lead generation on the name badges, usually represented as a barcode. And then folks who are exhibitors can rent scanners and scan those barcodes and retrieve all the data associated with them. And I know we had some conversation in the board packet about that in the comments, but I just want to articulate that this is something that the sponsors have definitely been asking for, and it comes up every single time, and it is a way for them to more easily quantify the ROI of the conference. So they are looking to do something like this. We, of course, are looking to implement something like this in a way that does not, that aligns with community values. So I think key things for me that we've talked about with the team are that if we implement something like this, it has to be opt-in, i.e., no barcode shows up on your name badge unless you said specifically put it there. And two, we're really clear about exactly what information gets shared when at the time that you opt in. So we're working on figuring out how to do that. And I think, Morton, you asked, did we do this in Portland? We actually have not. We have not done the barcodes yet. My understanding is that we did the little squares. QR codes
QR
at
codes.
some point. Yeah. But I can't. I
Yeah,
think that was
so in
Chicago,
DrupalCon
maybe.
Yep.
Would-
So in DrupalCon Chicago, we did, and there was actually a board vote about this topic, wherein we said the barcodes are okay, but you have to make sure that we didn't want anyone's home addresses going on there. We didn't want we actually the vote was very specific. It was like these specific fields and this specific thing. So I could dig that up if you're curious, or we can re-vote on it now and see if we need different things. But there was some kind of snafu where the barcodes got printed anyway with everybody's information on it. So please, for the love of God, don't do that. So what we had to do was distribute stickers so people could cover up their name badges, which was cute. We called it a patch, haha. But it was kind of really not cool because the board actually voted to not do that, and then it ended up happening anyway.
With the sponsors, would we be looking to make a small profit on the scanner? Scanners sponsors would rent.
I haven't actually asked that question. My assumption is that yes, but it would be minuscule, right? We're not looking at this as a profit margin or a profit center for the con.
Sure. Okay. And where would we get the scanners from?
Probably the exhibition company that we work with.
Okay.
Okay. So we're still working on that, and what that would actually look like internally, and working out, this is how we actually produce the name badges. So this is how a barcode would have to go on, and all that kind of stuff. And we will definitely keep the community posted about that. But I think we know we've been around this block before, and we have to do it in a way that aligns with community values and also doesn't get messed up so that we have to distribute stickers, patches. Although it makes me smile to say a pun. Okay. I think that's it for DrupalCon, all the good DrupalCon news. On Drupal.org, we have a litany of, below the KPIs, a litany of things that we're going to be tracking. All of that data, we're going to, again, start to report on that until we have a full month of numbers to report. But there's a lot there. I think the things to articulate here about Drupal.org is, we recognize it's still slow going, but we've made, I think, really solid progress with the resources that we have on some of the critical post D7 upgrade issues. There's only 2 left, and we do feel like those will get addressed this week. Text search has already been improved pretty dramatically, which is good. And once we get the criticals done, that should open up our ability to address some of the major issues. So that continues to eke forward. The other key thing is the usability or UX regressions on the issue queue. We have a published proposal, and we are working on. That's another place where Drum is spending some time this week, is helping push the implementation forward so that we can get that to deployment as soon as possible. I know that's going to help a lot of people out, so we definitely feel how important that is for folks, and I want to get that done. Other than that, a lot of things have been happening for Drupal.org. So we got the site builder landing page up and running. It's akin to the Drupal 8 landing page. This is a huge sort of content improvement and eventually revenue generator for the association. So we're glad that those are up. And we are working on a more in-depth dashboard for Drupal.org. So for the first time, we have regular snapshots of all of our metrics in one place, so we can watch those trends over time. And we think that's going to really help the community and the association make the right decisions for what to do on Drupal.org once we have some actual data to drive and inform some of that decision making. And I think the other thing that's really exciting that we've been working on and should be out soon is the changes tool. This is a good step towards transparency. So the changes tool eventually will do a lot of things, but in this first iteration, it's going to just show what's scheduled for deployment right now, so that you know what we're working on and when it'll come out the door. So I'm excited to get that up, and at least when you're when you're looking through your issue and you're like, why has there been no movement? You can go look at this changes tool and you can see, oh, they're working on these deployments. I get it. That's what's happening, right? Absent that,
Regarding the metrics that you mentioned,
what's that?
sorry, the metrics that you just mentioned,
Yeah.
are we making these public to the community?
Yes, we will definitely be planning on making those public.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good idea.
Yeah. So that's something that Rudy and Drum are going to be working on over the next couple of months. Okay, and I think I was going to say my last bit. I was going to say something else about Drupal.org, but now I don't remember, so let's forget it. So I think those are the key things. And then, community things are just getting rolling again on the community side for Global Training Days. We'll be, doing Community Summit again in Austin. And we have a community coordinator who'll be coming on board to do that work. You may recall we had a community and sponsorship coordinator sort of position rolled into one. The sponsors with all these products just need more attention than half a person can give them. So we split those roles out. So I think we just got an offer letter signed today. So she'll be starting, Lauren will be starting soon and helping to tackle all of these community programs, Global Training Days, the Community Summit, camp kits, all that good stuff.
Local gal to Portland.
That's right. Yep.
Okay, good.
So she's a Portland hire. Good. All right, and then I think the last big area to tackle is new revenue. As you know, we are making a significant investment in 2014, and so creating the revenue to not only get through on budget in 2014, but to sustain that growth in 2015 is really important, getting those programs in place. So I just want to give a huge shout out to Megan and her team. They do a tremendous amount of work in a really great way, and they had great results in 2013. Again, this is why we ended up in such a great place revenue-wise. We exceeded both the con and the non-con revenue goals, largely in part to their work. And in 2014, we have lots of work to do. But we're already well on our way. So today we just released an RFP for the job board, which I think was a really nice piece of work there. And I'm excited to see that get going. And we had a ++ community blog post reply today, which was very exciting. Anything that gets a positive reply on a blog post, I'm all for. And
Holly.
I love it.
It's so sad.
No, it's good. It's great.
Is that the bar now? It's like,
Yeah.
Oh God, somebody said something nice. Oh, thank God.
Well, I'll tell you, that's a much higher and nicer bar than at least no one yelled at me.
You're breaking my heart, lady. You're breaking my heart.
No, it's good stuff. It's all good. I'm really happy about it. So that's out there. We're really excited about that. And the other thing will be on the hosting partner program, really amplifying that. And so lots of good work is being done around that. So I think, we have a lot of unknown in this area for 2014. But I think we have lots of good plans and the stage is being really set for us to do that well. So there's good solid work going in there. And I think those are the really big highlights for now. Obviously, membership and marketing, lots of good stuff. We're going to track some things there. The big win is that the D8 landing page is doing very well for us, and we continue to sort of tweak how that works and what we're going to get out of it. But those are the really big things to address in the update this time. There's more, but those are my key highlights. So any questions about that?
Holly, I've just got a thought on the hosting partner program. I'm just reading that second paragraph there, and that going beyond 6 members on that page dilutes it a little. Have you considered basically only ever showing 6, but randomizing what shows there?
I think that's something that I do not think that's something that we have talked about. And I don't know, Megan, sorry, so loud trucks. I don't think mufflers are required here. Megan, I just unmuted you. I don't know if you want to say a word or two about that.
I'm free. I can talk. Yeah. We did some A/B testing in 2013 and found that like anything more than 6 does do starts to dilute the revenue.
Yep.
But what the consultant's going to look at is there any other way we could optimize this page to obviously increase revenue? So things like that. But also we're looking at geo-targeting. Right now, those 6, if you look at the traffic, it's almost like a 50-50 split of U.S. versus like European traffic. And so I'm having them come back to me with a proposal of geo-targeting because obviously right now the hosts we have are more North American centric. Yep. So those kinds of thinking are definitely included in this consulting work we're having done. But if you have more ideas, please send them my way because I'll have them explore everything.
Yeah. Well, geo-targeting sounds good. I mean, segmentation of any sort, I guess, is going to help there. But yeah, I just wondered a simple randomizer. If you've got 12 of them and you just cycle through them, and you're only showing 6 at a time or something. But that may still dilute it. So whatever. Anyway, I'll shut up now. But
actually, it's a good point. The shared hosting, just the way contracts have been written in historical kind of partnerships on that page, that doesn't randomize, but the other 2 actually are randomized. So we are playing with that.
Cool.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thanks, Megan.
What else, you guys?
All right. So, any other questions? No? All right. So, the next item is the marketing committee status. I actually don't know who's been running with that process, but I don't know if somebody wants to present this or if you want me to talk to it.
Yeah, no. Hey, Megan, is Joe going to be on? I just realized he's not on. And you are muted, Megan. But you can unmute yourself. I didn't mute you this time.
So basically, if I remember.
Oh, hey, how about that? Yeah. I can pull him in.
Good deal. Thanks. But just to give you I'll just give some background while Joe hops online, if that's okay, Dries.
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. So we have a marketing committee. And Joe does do quite a bit of work with the marketing committee, which is great. And Ben Finkley has been the chair of that for some time, and he'll be stepping down from the chair role. And so what Joe wanted to do was just give an overview of where the committee is at. And we did a public nomination process for that chair position. So we just wanted to talk about the self-nomination there and make a recommendation for a new chair and vote on that. So that is what the discussion should be when we're able to get him online. I should have talked more slowly.
We can talk a little bit already. The committee members are in one of the presentations in the folder.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys had a chance to review those. My initial reaction to that slate is that there's a lot of members, and I wonder if we need that many to be, official committee members. Or are we only voting for the chair?
I think we're only voting for the chair at this point. Is the proposal is to only vote for the chair, since these folks are already technically on the committee. And
I see.
So we're choosing somebody out of the existing committee. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Although again, we did open it up for folks to self-nominate as well. And here comes Joe.
And
do you know where we did that?
On the association blog.
Okay. Yeah, I see Tiffany in here.
Yeah,
Tiffany. Did you join the call at some point?
Yep, I've been on since the beginning.
Oh, great.
I had some trouble getting the GoTo started up, but I'm good.
Denise also made it in, just so you know.
Yeah, I got that one.
Okay.
So only Vesa and Jeff are not here. Is that correct?
Correct. Yep.
All
Oh.
All right, Joe, you there? I think I unmuted you.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Hello?
Yeah.
All right,
How's
you're all
everybody doing?
set.
Yeah, so Ben Finkley, as we indicated some time ago, has stepped down as chair, and we need to implement a new chair. So the process was we opened a form a couple of weeks back and allowed people to self-nominate, and you'll see on the one slide back, if you go one slide back, Holly, or whoever's driving the slides. The questions that we asked were, can you provide a little bit of information about you? What is it that motivates you, and what would you like to do as chair? And then what is some experience that you can bring to bear for this position? And so Betsy Ensley, who's currently the Director of Professional Services at ThinkShout, is the person that we feel is most qualified. And I think I can also share that she was actually the only person to submit a self-nomination form. But we do feel that she's highly qualified to lead the committee. And then on the second slide is the slate of committee members. And this pretty much represents the folks who are on the committee now and who have been active for some time and we feel are the right people to remain and drive the committee.
So let me be clear. Today we're supposed to vote on A, the entire slate, and B, the chair.
Correct.
I have a, Joe, what would you say, if you had to sum up the biggest differences between Betsy and Ben Finkley's leadership styles? I think, one of the concerns that's been addressed before about the branding and marketing committee is that they're spread out a little bit too thin and trying to do too many things. It sounds like Betsy wants to focus on a few small things, so that sounds great to me. But could you maybe compare and contrast leadership styles so we can expect how will the branding and marketing committee run differently under Betsy's leadership than it did under Ben's?
Well, I think you pretty much hit the nail on the head. Whereas right now it's sort of a kitchen sink approach, and initiatives I think tend to the ideas are there, but then the initiatives tend to kind of fizzle out over time due to lack of resources and frankly because I think things are spread a little bit thin. Betsy's style is going to be more, all right, let's come together as a group, identify some tangible, doable initiatives, and really focus on those things. Let's put some, timelines, project management in place to sort of lay out how we're going to get from point A to point B. And so I think that's probably the biggest difference that you'd see.
Has she at all vocalized what kinds of initiatives that she's interested in pursuing are?
When I spoke with her recently, Drupal 8 was certainly top of mind for her, and then membership was another thing that she talked about is trying to push the membership message at camps in a more systematic way.
And what were the kinds of initiatives that were trying to be achieved with Ben sort of running the show?
There was definitely an initiative toward getting more membership messaging out to the camps. There were some initiatives that were a little more far afield. For instance, there was an initiative to introduce a Drupal credit card, I believe. There was an effort to do some research, some market research. There was an initiative to, I believe there was the start of talk to evolve the DrupalCon icon as well, and there were some others as well, but those were some of the main ones.
Okay.
Any other questions for Joe?
I'm curious, not to Joe, but I'm curious to throw this out to the rest of the board. I don't know Betsy. Can anybody speak to her experiences and her personality and so forth?
Has Jeff joined us yet?
Jeff probably couldn't say anything,
Oh,
but if
that's
he did
true.
say something, it would be awesome. So I have experience with Betsy, and Betsy is amazing, so I have no concerns about this.
Okay. Thank you, Tiffany.
All right, do we want to move forward and you know, approve the chair and the slate?
I'll make a
Yeah, I guess
motion
my
that
only
we.
concern about the slate is you said it's limited to like the number of people we have on this slide. That's it, right? We can't add more without taking away others.
The
And
charter says 5 to 15, so
mhm.
we're right around 15. There might be space for a couple of more folks, but not much.
Looks like we've got space for one more.
Yeah.
Yeah, and do we feel, I mean, Joe, you're the only one of all of us, I think, who has visibility into that. Do we feel like these folks are the right people to be there? Do we feel like we have anyone there who's, you know, because of time commitments or whatever, holding up a slot that someone else could be taking? Like,
Yeah, and to be perfectly frank, there haven't been a whole lot of meetings. I came on board in May, and I think there have been 3 meetings since then. So it's hard to
okay.
get a sense of who's sort of a regular attendee. One thing I think we probably should look at doing is define some sort of a process for, um, who is on the committee, how do they get there, and how long do they stay? Because currently, per the charter, there's nothing like that.
Right.
So that could actually be part of the motion, that we define um, a period of time in which they sit on the committee, pending our coming up with a proper policy.
Well, I don't want to really, I personally don't really want to couple those two together myself. I think that's probably a separate motion to discuss, like amending the charter or the branding and marketing committee to add term limits or whatever we want to do with that.
One thought I had is that once the new chair is in place and we have a set committee in place, is that that could be an agenda item for the committee, is actually revising the charter and then bringing that to the board for approval.
And I wasn't suggesting amending the charter with that, Ange. I just recently had an experience on another board where there wasn't a defined time period for a committee member, for committee members on a particular committee, and it ended up being pretty messy. And if we just say, hey, we're going to review this in 8 months or a year, because we don't have anything in our policies at this point, it just makes things a whole lot cleaner.
There's some people on the slate that work for me, so maybe we should do 2 votes, and I'd like to refrain from the committee vote.
So we'll ask for a motion on the chair, and then we'll ask for a separate motion on the additional committee members.
Yes, that would be awesome.
Great.
Do we want to define the breakup of the committee members? Let's do that, so we can have our 2 separate votes on the committee members.
Oh, sorry, no. 1 vote on the chair, 1 vote on the committee members.
Dries just said that he'd like to refrain from voting on certain committee members, and asked if we could break it up into 2.
Sorry. I was proposing we do 2 votes, 1 vote for the chair and 1 vote for the slate of community members, but I'll refrain from the slate on the community members.
Well, I'll make a motion to accept Betsy Ensley as the chair for the marketing committee.
Saying that.
Seconded as well. Right. Accepted.
Well, wait. So basically, do we have a period of time to say if we have objections, we should say something, basically?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So calling a vote, do we accept Betsy Ensley as the new chair of the Branding and Marketing Committee? And
Hell yeah!
if you do not want to do that, please speak up. Otherwise, it'll pass by unanimous consent. Okay, great. Second vote is, do we accept the slate of Branding and Marketing Committee members as presented? And I also probably can't vote on this because I work for the same company Dries does. But if someone would like to call that vote and second it, then we can vote on that.
I call the vote, and
I'll second it.
Okay.
Right. If no one nobody rejects, it has been moved and seconded that we accept these numbers.
It's fun to vote on things. Excellent.
I know, right?
All right.
My only question is the procedure one, I guess, is that we had Dries and I set that out, which means we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people vote on that. Is that quorum?
Yes. Currently, yes.
Right.
Okay.
I would say that I would really like it if we did have a recommendation on solidifying the policy for terms as soon as possible, just so we've got that clarity. Like I said earlier, I've seen this blow up, and I'd rather the association not experience the same kind of drama.
I kind of like what Joe said, and kind of leading this to the Branding and Marketing Committee to talk amongst themselves and come up with a proposal for the board.
That's great.
Yep.
Great, we'll plan on that.
delegation.
So Joe, why don't I put that on the March agenda? Is that we'll expect to have a revised proposal from
That sounds perfect.
Okay. Great.
Great, and I'll give Betsy the good news.
Yay, go Betsy.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, definitely go Betsy. She's a firecracker.
Right, awesome. Should we move to executive session? Is there any other topics that you guys want to discuss in public? No?
I think we're good.
Then I suggest we adjourn and that we regroup on the other, bridge.
Dries, are you going to give Jeff a quick SMS?
No, I just texted him already.
Awesome.
So I don't know if he'll be able to make it though, but we'll see.
Yeah. Thanks to the several people who joined from the community to listen in, and if you have any other questions, definitely feel free to shoot me an email. See you guys on the other side.
We didn't finish the agenda, or did I just completely zone out on the stuff at the end of the board packet?
We're going into an executive session for that.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yep.
Easy peasy.
Thanks, Donna.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.